What's your best be careful what you wish for story? I'm a property manager for a downtown apartment complex. We're always at capacity with a massive waiting list. This guy Kevin in 4B was our problem child from day one. His application was borderline, but we were desperate to fill the unit after the previous tenant skipped town owing 3 months rent. First month, noise complaints from 3 different neighbors. He's hosting parties until 3 a.m. on weeknights with music at rattled windows. Then he starts paying rent late with a different excuse each time. The other tenants began threatening to move out if we didn't handle Kevin. I tried the diplomatic approach first, knocked on his door, explained the complaints, asked him to keep it down. He laughed in my face and said his lease gave him the right to live however he wanted. I sent him written warnings. He threw them in the hallway trash. I tried calling him. He blocked my number and told other tenants I was harassing him. 2 weeks later, he throws his biggest party yet. Music so loud it triggered car alarms in the parking garage 3 floors down. Someone called the cops twice. I found beer bottles, pizza boxes, and worse things scattered throughout the hallway the next morning. The police report mentioned they'd been called 5 times in one night for the same address. Other tenants started taking photos and videos of the mess he left behind. But the final straw was when he flooded the unit below by leaving his bathtub running during a party. Water came pouring through Mrs. Robinson's ceiling at 2 a.m., destroying her furniture, electronics, and family photos. Mrs. Robinson was in tears when she called me, standing in ankle-deep water in her living room. 20 years she'd lived in that apartment, never a single complaint, and now her home was ruined because Kevin was too drunk to remember he'd started a bath. I spent the next day dealing with insurance adjusters, emergency contractors, and finding Mrs. Robinson temporary housing in another unit. The damage estimate came back at $3,000 for structural repairs, not including her personal belongings, which insurance valued at another $2,000. Meanwhile, Kevin hadn't even bothered to check on his downstairs neighbor or acknowledge what happened. When Mrs. Robinson knocked on his door the next morning, he pretended he wasn't home. The building maintenance crew had to shut off water to the entire 4th floor for repairs. Other tenants started a petition demanding his removal. I knock on his door the next evening to discuss the damage repair costs. He opens it shirtless, reeking of beer, music blasting behind him. He sees me and immediately starts yelling about how this is harassment, and I have no right to keep bothering him about petty complaints from jealous neighbors. I explain he's responsible for the $3,000 in water damage downstairs, plus Mrs. Robinson's ruined belongings, plus the cost of emergency plumbing repairs for the entire floor. His response? I'm not paying anything, and if you keep bothering me, I'll just break my lease and move out. He crosses his arms with this smug look. Behind him, his party guests are laughing, making comments about Howard-tripping landlords. I pause, pretend to think it over, checking my phone like I'm desperately considering his threat. Then I look up and say, actually, that works perfectly for me. His smirk fades fast. What? Your lease has a 30-day break clause with penalties. That's $2,400 plus the water damage you caused. So you'd owe us $5,400 total to leave. The laughter from his apartment stops dead. Now he's backtracking hard. Wait, I didn't mean I was actually going to— No, you're absolutely right. Moving out is the perfect solution. I pull out my phone and start scrolling through applications. I've got 20 people on our waiting list, and I can bump your rent up $300 for the next tenant. Supply and demand. His face goes completely pale. You can't just kick me out for making one mistake. I'm not kicking you out. You just volunteered to break your lease. I'm simply accepting your generous offer to solve everyone's problems. Look, maybe we can work something out, he stammers, his tough guy act crumbling. I shake my head firmly. Nope, you made your choice in front of witnesses. I'll need that money by Friday, or we start eviction proceedings for the unpaid damages anyway. He tries one last desperate move. This is illegal. I'm calling my lawyer. Please do. While you're at it, ask them about tenant liability for property damage and lease break penalties. I'll wait right here. His party guests started making excuses to leave, suddenly very uncomfortable. By the next morning, Kevin had called 3 times, begging to discuss payment plans. He went silent after that, paid every penny of the damages in full, and hasn't caused a single problem since.